By the end of today's video, you are going to know how to use chia seeds in a way that you probably never thought of before, but it makes a huge difference in your nutrition and also in how you use it in your kitchen. And I find that this simple little trick makes a huge difference in just my desire to use chia seeds in my recipes, just having them so much more available. And I can't wait to share with that trick with you. So stay tuned. I'm going to show that with you in just a moment. Hi, I'm Marley. I'm with the site Namely Marley, and I love preparing plant-based recipes and sharing them with you. So thanks for joining me in my kitchen today. And if you're new to vegan cooking, then this is a great way to get started. It's a favorite ingredient that people love, and I'm so glad that you're here today. So let's talk about chia seeds because you might be kind of curious if you're new to them, what actually are chia seeds? So actually they come from Mexico and Central America. They're just a tiny little seed. You can just tell they're just little tiny things, but they're packed with nutrients, which has caused them to become more popular over the years. So even lately they've been kind of a craze. So everybody's using chia seeds. One of the reasons is it's high in omega-3s, and that's something that we all need more of in our diet. And actually, the chia seed is a tiny little seed that's it's probably one of the best plant-based sources of omega-3s that we have. So we love using chia seeds for that reason. It's also rich in fiber. And of course, we're all needing more fiber in our diet. It helps us with digestion and also makes you feel full a little bit longer. So, of course, I love feeling full. So I like having chia seeds. And it's also, it's a great source of plant-based protein because, we've talked about this lately too. Plant-based protein can make you feel full longer as well. And it's something that we need in our diet. So chia seeds just have it all. It's like a three for the price of one right there. But you may be wondering too, why do we use chia seeds in cooking? That's kind of an interesting concept. I mean, I think vegans really have been at the forefront of how we can use chia seeds in cooking. And so oftentimes we turn these into eggs. Chia egg is a great way to, it's got when you add water to a chia seed, it kind of creates a gel-like substance that causes the chia to, basically substitute eggs in cooking. It creates just like a nice texture and binding. It's a great binder. It's also a thickening agent. I love using chia seeds, believe it or not, in my pies, like especially if I'm making a berry pie. Chia seeds add that thickener without using something like cornstarch, and I love that. So it's a great thickener. You can use it in sauces. You can use it in anything that you want to add a little bit of thickness to, and it has a nice neutral flavor. So for a lot of people who might try something like flaxseed, it has kind of got a flavor to it. And I don't even know how I would describe it. I've heard some people say it tastes a little bit on the fishy side, but chia seeds have a nice neutral flavor. So that's one of the reasons I've been kind of converted into using more chia seeds in my recipes, especially when it comes to baking. So you may be wondering, where do you find the chia seed? Where can you buy it? You can, at most grocery stores, I can find it in the health food section. Speaking of health food, you can also go to health food stores. They usually have chia seeds, and we like buying ours at Costco. And so we love getting a great big bag of chia seeds. And then another one is you can find them online. So those are some great options. But now let's get to how we use chia seeds in our cooking. Specifically, we oftentimes will use it to make a chia egg. So let's just do that. Why don't we make a chia egg while we're talking? So I'm going to start with a tablespoon of chia seeds, and I'm going to add that to a bowl, and I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of water. 3 tablespoons. What will happen is once that chia seed gets next to the water and starts absorbing the water, I'm just giving it a little stir. It will create a gel and it will thicken. It's hard to imagine that's going to happen when you look at that right now. They just kind of are sitting on top of the water, nothing's happening. But what I do is I will let that sit for like 10 minutes. And the next thing you know, that has turned into a gel-like consistency, and it's perfect to add to your recipes. Oftentimes we'll add chia seeds to overnight oats. So here's what I have as a basic overnight oat recipe, but you can see how it's kind of on the runny side. So this is a great example of how chia seeds thicken. So I'm just going to add a tablespoon of chia seeds to this overnight oats, and it's going to stir in nicely. And the next thing you know, it's going to thicken that overnight oats up. It So you can also use it to make a chia pudding. So I love having chia pudding. You can use it to um, just combine chia seeds with protein powder and some almond milk, and you've got a delicious chia pudding. It's a nice little dessert that's healthy as well. But you may be wondering, what is the mistake that people are making when they're using chia seeds? Well, I like to say that chia seeds are great. However, they're even better when they're ground. So I read this article once by Dr. Greger, who talked about how important it is. I'll leave a link in the article or in the show notes below. But chia seeds are no different than flax seeds in that they've got this thick outer shell. And so the problem is it's harder for your body to absorb all the nutrients because of that shell. So by grinding them, you have made a big difference. You have changed the consistency and made it more bioavailable for your body. So I'm going to show you my fast trick. I get a blender out and we'll just add these chia seeds. I like to add a good quantity of chia seeds. I'm just going to add this to the blender. I like to make a big batch and then I keep it in the fridge. I transfer it to a glass mason jar and then I freeze it. So let's just pulse these in short bursts. And then I slowly turn up the speed. It doesn't take much, but let's take a look inside here. I can still see some seeds, so let's do this again. It's just and then that has turned it into, here, I'll just get the spoon out so you can see it. You can see now it's a powder. And that's what I'm looking for. When you can get it to that powder texture, that's perfect. Let's put it in a... So you really need a high-speed blender for this to work. I have tried a food processor that does not work. It's not strong enough. You can also use a coffee grinder. It works perfectly. But there you go. You've got basically this chia powder, I guess you'd call it. And I love this because now, so I just added a tablespoon. So now let's add 3 tablespoons of water and we'll turn this into a chia egg. And look how just almost instantly this has turned into a thicker substance. That's the same quantity. It's a tablespoon of ground chia seeds. And look at that. It's already a gel-like substance that we could go ahead and add to a recipe. Whereas this one over here is still working on it. It's definitely thickened up a little bit, but I would feel like I'd want to let this sit a little bit longer before it's ready to go. Definitely thicker for sure, but look at this. This is just perfect to add to a recipe. So you can add this as an egg substitute for in cookies or muffins. This would be a perfect egg substitute. So that's how I like to do it. I just wanted to show you now also. Here's another batch of overnight oats that is very similar to this one. And so we're going to add, oops, let me grab a tablespoon of ground chia seeds. We're going to pour that in there. Didn't get it all. And let's give that a stir. Just show you the difference between using ground and also the whole chia seeds. So you can just see where instantly that is starting to absorb the liquid. So that's one of the reasons that I feel like ground chia seeds is kind of like my secret weapon in the kitchen, because when I have it around, it's just so much easier to use in my recipes. I just love it. So here's the example. There's the difference between the two. This is the one that's made with the whole chia seeds, and it's still kind of working on absorbing that liquid. And this is the one that's used with the ground chia seeds, and it's already starting to thicken. I could already start eating that. Okay, Jennifer says hello from Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? I'm so glad that you're here. And Jennifer also says from Scotland, and I love chia seeds. Oh, that's great. I'm so, I'm always curious about how difficult it might be to get some of these ingredients in different countries. I'm just wondering, are chia seeds readily available there? and I use it in chia pudding. Yes, that's a great. I'm just curious, what's your favorite flavor, Jennifer? Do you just use coconut or chocolate? James says, is this the same seeds they use in chia pets? Yeah, I never thought about that. That's probably where most people have heard of chia seeds. Yes, that is exactly the same chia seeds. Probably when you got those little pets, you put in water, put water and whatever. It was a chia seed. Yes, exactly. Now you can eat it. E says, what's the mistake? Have to blend it right. Yes, you're right. You do have to blend it just right, because a high-speed blender is really what it's going to require. Um, like I said, you could also use a coffee grinder if you wanted to do smaller batches. I love doing the larger batches because look at all that chia seeds I've got. And I'll just transfer this to a mason jar and keep that in the fridge, and it lasts, there's a lot of fat content in chia seeds, so you definitely want to keep it in the fridge. But it'll last a long time in the fridge, and so I can just go grab a tablespoon at a time, make a quick chia egg, throw it in a recipe. Because I'm an impulsive kind of person. I don't have time to sit here and wait for whole chia seeds to gel. But the other thing is, then I'm not sitting there picking chia seeds out of my teeth for a month. So chia seeds are just the perfect size to fit right between your teeth. So that's another reason I really prefer grinding them. But also the nutritional benefits, and also the speed, and just the how quickly they absorb. So could you imagine adding this to your pie recipe? If you've got a cherry pie and you're worried about it running all over the place, the ground chia seed is the way to go. Karen says, have you tried adding chia seeds to soups? How does that work taste? I never have tried chia seeds in soup, but I imagine it would be a wonderful thickener. Yes. I mean, I have used it in baking. And so if you're worried about how it's going to handle heat, it obviously handles it well in baking. So I think it would do well in soups. And I'm always looking for ways to thicken soups without cornstarch because, I mean, I like cornstarch, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I love just like a whole food, healthier way to thicken things. And ground chia seeds are the way to go. That's what I think. So what I did is I made a batch of cookies. I'm going to show you both of them. But first I wanted to say, some questions that you might have. Are there times where if we're comparing the chia seed with the flax seed, are there times where, one or the other is better? And what I've discovered is actually both of them work fine. So if it's a cake or cookies or pancakes or whatever you're making, and you need an egg substitute, the flaxseed works well. Ground flax seeds combine 1 tablespoon with 3 tablespoons of water, but the chia seeds work just as well. So they're pretty interchangeable. However, some recipes just do not do well with, like for example, if you're making an angel food cake, those require so many eggs. Any cake that requires multiple eggs or custards or things like that, the chia egg is not going to be a good substitute for that. But so I hope that makes sense, if that kind of covers any questions you might have. So we have, what we have here are some banana cookies. I frosted them with some peanut butter frosting. They're pretty tasty. And I made this one with ground chia seeds. And this one, the ones with the little chia seeds on top, I made it with the whole chia seeds. So you can see the cookies all look similar. It's going to look the same, and ground chia seeds and whole chia seeds work the same. But let's take a taste. Let's just take a little bite here. These are good cookies. Can't go wrong with a banana cookie topped with peanut butter icing. That's really good. What I love is that the consistency is the same throughout. And let's just look at this when I cut it in half. This is a one made with chia eggs, and you can see that the chia seeds are more prominent. You can notice them more. And also, the thing that's bothersome is that these little chia seeds, like I say, they get stuck in your teeth. So we want to prevent that. And we also want to get all the nutrients we can from our chia seeds in our food. So I hope you loved today's video. I would love to hear from you, like what kind of recipes do you use chia seeds in? Like Jennifer said, she uses it to make chia puddings. I would love to hear from you. What kind of recipes do you like to use chia seeds with? And, if you liked today's recipe, where we're talking about chia pudding and grinding your chia seeds, I would love it if you gave today's video a like and subscribe for more recipes coming your way every week.